just want to say I'm proud of the guys for the effort that they gave today. We had a full week to prepare for this team, and we left no stone unturned on everything that they were going to do, what we thought they were going to do, who their players were, the personnel, what their strengths and weaknesses were. And, man, we had a full week of great practices and competition. And it carried over to today. And, man, I couldn't have been more proud of the guys. We went a smaller lineup because of their center. He's been, like, killing people on having a mismatch at the 5 spot. So we actually had Rainier Thornton who had a great game start on him. And, man, it just went from there. The energy was just crazy from the beginning. And, we pushed away, and it was a great overall game.
Coach, the energy from the bench has looked good all season, but today it was just different. Coaches jumping up, players jumping up and going crazy throughout the game. What was the difference today?
I think that we're just starting to believe more. We're starting to believe in what we're doing. The kids are starting to buy in more to the game plan, and everybody's so into what we're doing now, as a team, as a family, the brotherhood with the players. So everybody's into it now. Where at first guys might have been caught up that they weren't into the game or they didn't get enough shots or not enough minutes. Now everybody's won, so starting to play better.
Hey, Coach, you've been talking about energy, taking the first punch, and then your seniors lead you. Is this what you've been looking for, and how can you continue this rest of the year?
This is exactly what I'm looking for when you're talking about punch first. I mean, I didn't think they scored the first 14 or 15 possessions. That's what you want as a coach. That's a dream come true when you're looking at your team play out there on the floor. And then they started believing more and started to play harder, and then the bench got into it. So, yeah, this is what you want your seniors to do. And how we can continue this is just to continue to believe in what we do. Our coaching staff we have them really prepared for every scenario, every situation, and there's no excuse except for the energy. And that's what the guys just have to do. They have to believe that when we go into the game, we have the best chance to win because we're the most prepared.
This is a two-part question. First off, what did you think about the crowd and the energy they brought to help you guys start the game, and what were your thoughts on the throwback uniforms?
Well, the crowd is always phenomenal. I mean, they've been with us all year. I mean, they haven't let us down not one time. I think maybe for a couple seconds in the ECU game, they could just tell the energy wasn't there. But for the most part, the crowd is just amazing. And as far as the throwbacks, I wanted that. I met with Nike at the Final Four last year and really begged for that the Memphis State uniforms. And, man, we're wearing them for the rest of the year. Oh, no. All right, no, I'm just joking. But, no, I enjoyed Memphis State Day.
Continue with the jerseys and then about Antoine Jones. Kareem said you didn't say much about it, but was there some sentiment for them to go out and perform well with these uniforms on?
I just wanted them to go out and perform because we had a great week of preparation. And, it wasn't more about the uniforms more so than it was for us to try to get this win and protect home court. So I was really proud, though. The uniforms looked great, but I was more proud of how the play was even better.
I think he said that Coach Boyd was a little bit more excited about it in practice. Antoine Jones got to start tonight, and I don't really see you smile much during the game, but it was in the second half, and he finished that play right around the rim, and you had the biggest smile I've probably seen you have. What does it mean for you to see him do that? Because earlier you were talking about him not buying in to start.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like a beautiful story that's going on with Antoine Jones. He had his own ideas of how the season was supposed to go, and I guess we weren't a part of it. And to see him grow and mature as a player and as a person and start to get rewards of doing things the right way, then I smile because you can't be selfish in the game. You got to always work. You got to always appreciate the things that you have in this game. And for him to start doing that, for him to be unselfish, for him to start working harder, and then it starts to pay off, then that makes me happy.
Coach, you've emphasized defensive improvements all season. Those first 7 or 8 minutes where you hold them scoreless, what's going through your head? And then after that, the total performance on the defensive end, what were your thoughts on that?
Well, as a coach that's been preaching defense from day one, and you see that happening, you're just happy for the kids because now they have something to feed off of. Now they can say, hey, we've done it before. We can do it again. Do you think every game's going to go like that? Absolutely not. But the more games you can come out with that energy, the more success you're going to have. So I was definitely proud of the guys because we've been on them so hard about playing defense and punching first, and they did today.
Penny, when did you first see the uniforms, and what was the reaction? Kareem said when he saw them, he said these are just so cold, and they immediately. What was the reaction? Were you there when they saw them for the first time?
Well, no, I saw them before they did, and I loved them right away because it just reminded me of our uniforms, the old uniforms. They looked great, and to see Memphis State on the uniforms was pretty cool. And I didn't think they were going to respond the way that they responded, though. I mean, I know the old school group, me and the white boy, we were going crazy, but the younger guys in this year's team, they enjoyed seeing the uniforms and went crazy, so that gave them some extra energy going out in the uniforms.
How you doing? Hey, Mr. Hardaway. My name is Terrell Austin. I'm from New Jersey. This is actually my first day ever in Tennessee, period. But I've been a Memphis fan since DeJuan Wagner days. He's from Jersey, so I grew up on him. And I was here in honor of MLK weekend, so I want to ask you something that's not basketball related. I want to know what is if you had to recommend me one restaurant to go to in Memphis. Since you're the king of Memphis, your opinion matters. I need to know, where should I go?
Oh my goodness! Wow.
I had a bad experience with one restaurant here earlier today.
Okay,
so
we're not gonna say that restaurant's name.
We're not gonna do that.
Okay.
But I just need you to give me one.
If I have to give you one place, you can go to Rendezvous.
Rendezvous.
You can go to Rendezvous. That's safe.
All right. And my second question is it okay before this is all over? Can I get a pic with you? I can't leave without getting a pic for my dog. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, cool. My man. Thank you. All right.
All right.
All right, Penny. Kind of go back to the defense, defensive performance today. McMurray and I think Chargo, I think that's how you pronounce it, came in averaging, I think about a combined 32 points. You guys held them to 13 points today. Man, talk about the defense performance on SMU's top two scorers.
Yeah, obviously they were the emphasis. We knew that that those two players have been phenomenal. I've been watching them all year, and those two guys have been like Jamal McMurray. He's probably one of the top scorers in our conference. And the big fella has been inside, outside, made a lot of threes, second on the team in threes. And he's both of those guys are just really good. So we focused all week on stopping them and Jimmy Witt as well. But the emphasis was on them, and, man, we did a phenomenal job. When we started switching early on, it kind of took both those guys out of the game.
Coach, several games in the conference play, have you decided exactly what your starting lineup is going to be for the rest of the season, or is it still a work in progress?
I think it's kind of dictating what other teams are doing. You know, just like today, no one did anything wrong. We had to go small because they were small, and we matched up really well. And, you know, it just goes from game to game. It might be small again next week. It might be big. I don't know. It's just we're going to start matching up to match up with teams because you don't want them to get off to a great start having the wrong lineup out there. So we're starting to get smarter when it comes to that.
Coach, we saw you were up 30, but you're still coaching pretty hard. Is that about creating culture with your guys?
Absolutely. That's the culture we want. I mean, I'm not trying to, dog it to the other team. It's that I'm trying to teach every player that steps on the floor to play hard for 40 minutes and create that type of culture and not ever give in. And if we can do that with everybody 1 through 15, then we're going to have a pretty good pretty good success here at the college.
Coach, first, you guys came out about 30 seconds before that buzzer at the beginning of the game. Was there anything that was keeping you guys in there?
In the
before the game started.
Oh no, they were just changing uniforms because they didn't wear the uniforms out to warm up.
Oh, okay.
So they, excuse me, yeah, they were changing.
Okay, and then the second thing was just with Kareem, coming in from, working his way to get his minutes to where he is, and then set a career high from 3 today. I mean, is it that much more satisfying seeing a guy work his way up in the minutes like that?
Absolutely, because I think last year's team really felt like they were entitled to just come right in and walk in and get minutes, and the freshmen kind of, battled them for that. So it was kind of some disappointed guys, and Kareem was one of them early because he felt like he needed more minutes. But we were like, you earn everything, and to see this process of him go from where he was disgruntled, upset, into like kind of working hard and kind of buying in, and then now being rewarded for it. I mean, like I said with Antoine, I love that because that's what life is all about. You got to work and you got to grind and earn everything, and when you earn it, it's better. So he's earning it right now, and he works his butt off, and I'm proud to see him reaping the benefits from it.
Penny back here. What did you see on Keevan's dunk in the middle of the second half? And it looked like the coaches sort of looked around at each other like, holy crap, I can't believe you just did that.
Well, we see Keevan do that all the time in practice, but he's really never done it in the game, not recently. And when the guys started talking trash, that kind of pissed him off a little bit. And I'm sure once he got the opportunity, he was going to try to dunk the ball because that's what he does in practice. And the guy let him do a swing through. He made a strong move and went to the basket and used his athleticism, which was a spectacular dunk on his part. Hopefully it makes SportsCenter.
Speaking of Keevan's dunk, have you seen Kareem Bruton block his dunk in practice like you said he did?
Did Kareem say that?
Okay, so
last year maybe?
Next question.
Okay, next question.
Do we have any more surprises planned for the team? You hit them with the foams earlier, the jerseys. You let the cat out of the bag earlier about Lil Penny. Any more surprises?
No, we got no more surprises right now. We're just really just trying to lock in for the rest of the season, but it's also good to have the surprises as well. The kids get excited about that, and we push them so hard and grind so hard. When they get some enjoyment, it's happy to see that.
One more question about your lineup. With so much going on, with you switching it up, how do you, I guess, keep that chemistry and continuity going together with the guys on the floor?
Yeah, we do that in practice. I think we do a great job of mixing the lineups. We don't just go starters versus the second group. We mix the lineup so it's better competition. I've always been that coach that never just went starters versus the second group. And then when we do 5-on-0, we'll do the starters. But when we compete, we try to mix it up so it can be very competitive. We'll have Rainier against Kevin. We'll have Jeremiah against KB. We have Tyler versus Alex. So it's like we'll mix it up to where it's kind of competitive so we can get better work done that way versus the other way. So when we mix these lineups, then everybody's already ready and has already played with that guy. We've been doing that from day one.
Penny, Kareem mentioned the hustle board, I believe is what it's called. Is that new?
Well, we ordered it. We keep it we were keeping it on a sheet of paper until the boards came in. And the boards just came in last week, and now we're putting an emphasis on the hustle board, and the guys are paying attention to it now, and that's the way we're going to win. That hustle board is who we are. Yeah, when you start seeing it on the board, and you see your name, and you see a negative, a minus, whatever, and you start seeing you don't have enough charges, you don't have enough, you're getting blown around, blow-bys, you have not enough helps, and sprinting back and all those things that comes on the hustle board, then it kind of makes you, if you're competitive, you're going to change. And those guys are seeing that. Tomorrow, we're going to have it on the board. So the next practice we have, which will be Monday, their numbers will be on the board from this game.
There's been a lot of talk about the throwback uniforms, but did it feel a little bit like a throwback day, throwback basketball, the way you play, throwback crowd, the way you wanted to connect this with basketball that you knew when you were here? Is that
absolutely
coming true?
Absolutely, but that's been a process from day one, from like the Tennessee Tech game where we really weren't there defensively, and I didn't have a zone. I really didn't have a press. We were trying to pressure, and then just the process of building things up until now. Now we're starting to play like the old school teams that used to get in people's face and turn them over and play with high energy. So the uniforms came in right on time, and our play is right on time with the uniforms because I wanted that old school throwback. It was an old school throwback feel today. That's the way that we played when top teams came into our building, and we want to get this team playing the same way.